Hi, welcome to the Espresso, your daily shot of Chinese words with Catherine Xiang. 大家好，欢迎来到我的频道The Espresso。在这个频道呢，我们看字和字之间的关系。今天我们进入手这个视频的第3集。Today, now moving to the third video about words related to the Chinese character hand. So last time we had looked at different combination of like noun plus 手。Verb plus 手, also adjective plus 手, and how we use that to form different vocabulary. Today we will continue and I will look at all the verbs plus 手, and we will look at 2 different contexts. First, as we know, holding hands, hand is kind of a romantic gesture. So we will look at 3 sets of vocabulary that related to using 手 and in a romantic setting. And then we will look at another set of vocabulary of also verb plus 手 and to be used more often in a business context. So in total, I aim to teach 6 different vocabularies today, 3 in a romantic context and 3 in a business context. 好的，那么我们就开始吧。好，首先呢，第一个就是说关于手的这个浪漫的词语。那首先我们如果2个情人在一起呢，我们觉得他们如果是确认关系，我们会说牵手，牵手啊 to hold hands. So holding hands in the old time, that's a first sign of established relationship. So you hold hands to indicate that you have affection and feeling towards each other. 牵手. One of the very common expression, and typically people will use it in a wedding or kind of best wishes to couple, is from classic 诗经, the collection of Chinese ancient poems, and which is 执子之手，与子偕老。执子之手，与子偕老。So 执子, 子 here means you. 执子之手, holding your hand. 与子 with you, 偕老. Growing old together. So I'm going to hold your hand and not letting it go, and we're going to grow old together. So this is a very common expression, and it's very typical to wish newlywed couple. So 执子之手，与子偕老. So 执子之手, then nowadays in the colloquial, informal setting, we just say 牵手, 牵手. So hold hand. Now, of course, if the relationship doesn't go well, and we eventually, unfortunately, people do break up, right? So how do we say that in Chinese? That is split the hands. So you can see holding the hands, that indicates the beginning of the relationship, while separation of the hand is the opposite. So in a breakup in Chinese is 分手, 分手, 分 to separate. 好的，那么这个词语呢，比方说这是一个动词 ，so this is 分 plus hand 手 become another verb to break up, right? 所以呢，你可以说我们分手了，或我们分手吧，我们真的不适合，我们分手吧。So I think we should break up because we're not suitable for each other. 或者说他们上个星期分手了，他们上个星期分手了 ，they broke up last week. 所以呢，分手 is another common vocabulary. 牵手 and then the opposite is 分手. Now the third one I want to introduce, it's a verb that we sometimes give advice or suggestion to a friend. You can use it in a romantic setting, but also it can be used beyond that. So that is 放手. 放手. 放 means put it down. For example, 把书放在书上, put the book on the table. 手 hand. So 放手, in this case, it means let it go. Let something go. 放手. So sometimes you will say 放手吧, just let it go, let it be. So it is something sometimes to persuade people do not be so obsessed with something. You should really let it go. Then in that case, you will say 放手吧, 放手吧. So let's say if your girlfriend wanted to break up with you, you were really upset, but she clearly didn't want to be in this relationship, then your friend might say 还是放手吧，你还是放手吧 So let it go. Okay, good. So these are the 3 words I want to introduce today in a romantic setting. 牵手 but of course the classical Chinese 执子之手与子偕老 which is a really lovely expression to be used and give best wishes at friend's wedding. Then 分手separation of the hands, so break up. And then 放手 to let it go, to let something go. 放手。好的，这个就是第一组词汇。So this is the first set of 3 words. Now let's look at how they are written in Chinese characters. Okay, welcome back. Now let's look at the next 3 vocabulary I want to introduce in a more commonly used in a more business setting. Now the first one is 着手. 着手. 着 means to be able to touch. 手 your hand. So it's like your hand is just on top, can touch this matter. So 着手 means to get started. So when you start a new project or when you start a new work, you want to understand the progress. 所以呢，比方说 for example, we can say 我们什么时候开始着手做这件事情呢？我们什么时候开始着手做这件事情呢？ So when are we going to be really start doing this? 或者呢，你也可以说我们已经开始着手研究了。我们已经开始着手研究了。So we already started researching into the matter. 着手 to get down to business, to start doing something, 着手. This is the first one. The second one commonly used also in a financial setting, that is 经手. 经手, 经过 to pass. So something pass your hand. So that means something that you're directly dealing with or you're involved in. 比方说，这笔开销是谁经手的？这笔开销是谁经手的？ So 开销 expenditure. So who dealt with this expenditure? 这件事情是王经理全权经手的。这件事情是王经理全权经手的。So this matter was solely dealt with by Manager Wang, 经手 passing his or her hands, so he or she was directly involved in this. 经手。好的，最后呢，我想介绍一个是 when 你们在跟别人合作的时候。So the third one I want to introduce is very commonly if you work with other people, when you're in collaboration, you might heard or you want to use this word is 联手。联手，那联的意思呢是联系connect or united 联手。So unite hands, so that means what? Work together. Good cooperation 联手。比方说，我们联手做这个项目吧。我们联手做这个项目吧。So shall we work together on this project? Sometimes you want to give compliment to the partner that you work with. So you can say 跟贵公司合作，我们真的是非常荣幸，简直是强强联手。跟贵公司合作，我们真的是非常荣幸，简直是强强联手。So it's such a great pleasure and honor working with you. 强强联手. So you give compliment to the party that you work with, but also you enhance yourself. 强强联手. So strong and strong, but hold hands together. So it's going to be, a great partnership, a strong partnership, and a win-win situation. 强强联手。好的，那这个呢，就是3个在商务环境中经常用的。 So these are the three vocabularies that we come across commonly in a business setting. 着手 to start doing something. 经手 to deal with something, and usually to do with numbers, expenditure, 经手. And the last one is 联手, so to unite, to work together. 好的，我们来看一下这三个词汇的汉字怎么写。Now let's have a look at the Chinese characters.好的，欢迎大家回来，这就是今天的所有内容啦。Welcome back. So this is all the content I want to cover in today's video. We had looked at more combination with verb plus 手 hand, and we actually look at two different contexts. One is a more romantic context, right, with 牵手、分手 and 放手, to more business context, for example, 着手、经手 and 联手. So hopefully you find these vocabulary useful, and hopefully you will find opportunity to use them in the coming weeks and to practice. 好的，那下一次呢，我们就要进入跟手相关的成语了。So the next several videos I will dedicate to Chinese idioms and the proverbs to do with the Chinese character hand, and there are still quite a lot. But I will try to pick the most commonly used ones so that hopefully they will offer more relevance and you will be able to use them very effectively. 好的，那今天的视频呢就到这里，我们下个星期再见，拜拜。